Hey guys, this is Nicole Love, also known as Divine Raver on Instagram, and today I wanted to cover the major feature differences between the GloFX, the Fiberflies, and the Ants on a Melon whips. This video is only used for the intensive purposes of going over the feature differences with you. It is not going to include my personal stance or personal interactions with the company or the whip, just because I feel like every whip artist out there is going to have a different type of interaction, a different story to tell, and therefore I feel like you should choose the product based off of the knowledge of the product, the features that it can provide to you, and the type of show that you would like to give. The first whip I want to talk to you about is going to be the GloFX Space Whip Pro. The original version of the GloFX Space Whip Pro does give you 0.75 millimeter in width on the fiber, just like all the other fibers out there. There is some options to go thicker in the customizable version, but we'll go over that in just a bit. The original Space Whip Pro comes with an end glow fiber. This end glow fiber means that the concentration of the light point will be at the tip of the fiber rather than throughout the body of the fiber like on the Sparkle Whip, which we will talk about later. The battery is an all-night battery, and it does come as a set of 3 AAA batteries inside of the capsule. And this can take either the rechargeable batteries that you could purchase from their online store. You can also purchase the AAA batteries from like a department store. Any of them would really honestly work, and the 3 together will cause you to be able to have an all-night flow. There is a lanyard to be able to put at the end of your end cap to be able to swing the handle more like whip poi. Also be able to give you a better grip in case you're one to not release your handle from your hand and don't want to lose your grip. The whip grips was also an ingenious additive for the handle as well. It provides you a no-slip grip while you are flowing. The GloFX Space Whip Pro does give you a 360 ball-bearing head, which means that the fibers in itself will rotate. And it does give you 34 different color modes, 13 different strobing patterns. And you can customize a set of any 3 colors together to provide you those 3 colors during the 13 different patterns that you can tap through. To do that, you just simply press and hold on the selector button. The whip will then flash a series of different colors. When it flashes white, you want to release. It puts you into a color changing mode, which then you can select through. You press and hold on the color you want. And again, you're going to pick any 3 colors. So when you get to the final color, you will just push and hold. And then after it's done flashing, if you continue to hold, it'll then change the brightness. You want to release on the brightness that you would like to select. I always pick the brightest level, and then there you go, your whip is fully programmed. This handle does have a water-resistant seal. It is not waterproof. And in order to change out the head, you would take the hex screw that's provided from the online store or given to you when you do get the replacement whip heads. Put it in that little notch, carefully unscrew just to loosen, pull off the head cap, and then you can then wash your fiber or you can change out your fiber head. In the customizable Space Whip Pro, you do have the option of being able to use the lanyard on the end cap or the whip grips, but then you also have the option of being able to choose your fiber. So your fiber comes in 2 different options, either sparkle, which is shown here. So the sparkle fiber breaks in light along the fiber body, as you can see, where the end glow has the fiber color coming directly towards the tip. There's less breakage along the body. And you also have the option of being able to get a 0.75 millimeter in width fiber. And there's also the option for the thicker fiber of a 1.5 millimeter in width. Now, when you get the thicker fiber does come in a lesser bundle. So there's more like 14 to 19 fibers in each bundle when you get the thick fibers. And when you're talking about the 0.75 millimeter nano fibers, you're talking about 55 to 70 per fiber bundle. There is still the all-night battery. There is still the color selection modes, 34 different colors and 13 different strobing modes, just like the previous Space Whip Pro. And you can also choose the length of your fiber as well. So I wanted to give you a demo of what the sparkle fiber looks like comparative to the end glow fiber. The end glow fiber is like so. and the sparkle fiber is like so. I personally think that the sparkle fiber just adds a little bit more of a smoky effect while you're whipping, and due to the fact that the light is not concentrated as much at the end points, it can appear a little bit dimmer, but in all actuality, the actual brightness of the light that's emitting from the handle is the same, so don't let that fool you. But that is the difference between End Glow and sparkle fiber. Last and certainly not least is the GloFX Space Whip Pro Double. It has 3 foot of End Glow fiber on either side of the handle, a 360 swivel head on both sides. And do also know that it does have the 34 different colors, the 13 different strobing patterns, just like the previous Space Whip Pro models. However, there is no option to be able to customize the fiber, so you just get the End Glow fiber. The handle is the one thing that deters people from this whip. As you can see, it's about the width from one shoulder to the other for me. But if you look up a bunch of baton twirling videos, if you look up a bunch of staff spinning tutorials, it's pretty similar in how you can use this whip, so don't let such a handle deter you. It does have an all-night battery in each side of the capsules. The handle then unscrews from one side to be able to give you the capability to change out your batteries. So one thing that I want to point out is you want to make sure to unscrew from the actual metal piece, not from the grooved side where it starts right here and above, because then you're going to unscrew your headpiece rather than your actual handle, and that will expose your powerhouse. So don't do that unless you have to. The battery capsule then comes out, and again, 3 batteries on each side. All night long battery life. It's pretty phenomenal, and it does have the water resistant sealing just like the Space Whip Pro. The other nice feature about the double is that it can also double as whip poi, so if you get the end caps with the actual handle lanyards on it, you can then detach the handle from the middle section piece and use it as whip poi, not just a double. Next, I would like to cover the Fiberflies Pixel Whip Rev 4. This whip comes with a 360 swivel head bearing as well, and it does provide you with 40 different color modes. That is 4 different color patterns split over 10 different actual patterns for display. Pretty cool. You push through the first section of patterns just by pushing the button. You push and hold until it blinks, and that's your second set of color patterns. Pretty phenomenal whip. It does have a foam grip that comes with it, so it's perfect if you're learning as well as if you're trying to learn a new move in general and you're not quite certain of the handle. The foam grip can really add an extra kind of padding in case you try some fiber wielding and accidentally hit your head. Try sock boy, mind you, don't just go for the handle. And the awesome part of this whip is going to be the battery life. So the battery is an 18,650 lithium-ion battery and 2,400 milliamp hours, which is equivalent to that of like a vape pen battery. It is pretty much equivalent in size as well. The awesome thing about the battery charger is that it additionally charges your phone. So if you're in a festival, you run out of battery, you just pull your whip battery out, charge your phone from the charger. Next, I want to show you guys the Bit Whip by Melon. The Bit Whip comes with a ruggedized metal handle, and I do have the double, so color emits from both sides, but there is a single option as well. If you choose to get the double and then want a single-sided flow, just get the end cap, super cheap from their online store, twist it on one side, and then you then have a single-sided Bit Whip. Mind you, this end cap is adding some decent weight, so just be cautious as far as how the handle will feel while you're fiber wielding especially. When you go to change out the batteries, so first of all, this battery has an 1.5 hour long guaranteed battery life, and I have seen some people get an upwards of 3 hours of battery life on the single-sided handles. And to change out the battery, you simply pop out the button, and then the capsule slides out the side. Keep in mind that you want to make sure to buy multiple buttons. This button is easy to lose and occasionally falls out, so just good recommendation. It's like 50 cents from their online store. Highly recommend you get an extra button. Then when you have your capsule, you just twist and pull apart. It fully exposes the motherboard, and then you can pull your battery out, which is the size of a AAA battery. However, I've tried AAA batteries in this whip and it does not work, you do have to buy the actual Ants on a Melon battery. So they are also very cheap, and I do recommend buying in bulk because you are going to need multiple batteries, with it only lasting an hour and a half to 3 hours max. So if you consider that you're changing out your battery in the middle of a fest, just consider that you are going to have to keep track of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces for your capsule, and also counting the metal piece, you then have 6. So just make sure that you're fully cognizant and aware of what's going on when you change out your battery, especially in the middle of a festival. When you pop your battery back into place, it'll then blink a series of colors. That means that your battery is fully charged. You very carefully slide the motherboard back into the capsule and just slide the end cap onto the capsule very gently until it stops moving. If you do it too hard, you can break the lights. And sliding the capsule inside of the handle, making sure that the hole lines up directly. You then pop your button back in place, and then you're set to flow. This whip gives you 27 different color modes. When you're talking about the different kinds of attachments that you can put on this whip, so you can choose your different fiber heads. First of all, if you are into a 360 rotating head, you're gonna want the Orbit. So the Orbit gives you 120 fibers, and you can choose them in a variance of length, either going with a 3-foot or a 6-foot to start. Here's the Orbit, so it does spin as the fibers stay intact. The millimeter on the width of the fiber is going to be that of a 0.75 millimeter, so nothing too crazy or too dramatically big, same as the other whip fiber sizes. So the Trifecta Whip has 150 fibers altogether, not for the separate bundles, but it does have 3 different bundles. Now, as you can see, as I twist the head, the fibers don't rotate. Make sure you're aware of this while you're flowing. So when you are flowing and you put it on your handle, you are going to want to twist your handle. If you don't twist your handle, you could possibly cause your fibers to break. So fair warning, that's how I broke my first couple fiber heads. Make sure you're twisting your handle with the non-rotating heads. The Galaxy 2.0 has 360 fibers, all nanofibers, 0.75 millimeter in width, and that one additionally does not rotate. So make sure that you're rotating your handle as you flow, and you will get the same kind of show as what you would get with, per se, the Orbit. The last attachment that you can use for this whip is the Crystal Saber. So this Crystal Saber just simply attaches and twists onto the end. You can put your fiber on the other side, and then you have a light-up handle. Very unique to the Ants on a Melon whip, only specifically for the Ants on a Melon whip, but it is super cool and adds a lot to your show. All of these whips come with a limited lifetime warranty, which are provided through the product's websites directly. So make sure you follow the links in the description below to be able to purchase your whip, as well as reference them for any product issues. And of course, if you do want additional discounts on any of these whips, I do have discount codes listed in the description below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and happy whipping!